butt back, just the minimum bend in the knees, back flat, and then come up. So back and down. So you want to have the legs a little bit wider than shoulder width or about shoulder width. So back and down. So let's do about 10 of those. Are you ready? So when I say one, you're going to go down and up. Okay? Here we go. 1, hip extension. So the floor hip extension, we're going to be down here. And then from here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Try to go as high as you can. This hip flexion. This is hip flexion. You're bending. This is a hip hinge. Okay. So a lot of people have trouble keeping the back straight. So this teaches you the back while keeping the back straight. Then the floor hip extension teaches you the hip extension. So we have to extend the hips and squeeze the glutes at the top. These two movements put together are the deadlift. So here's one of the points. So when you go like here, you want the hamstrings to come out. Because she's sticking the hips back, the hamstrings come out. But watch this. If she lowers the butt, the hamstrings are not tight. So this is not good. So what we want is we want to bring this up. Now the hamstrings come out. This is the deadlift position. Okay? All right. Thank you. So that's what we want. Now, when you do the deadlift, when you play the wall game, you want to keep the hips high and push back. So you notice the knee doesn't bend very much. So it's not, watch this, it's not this. This is wrong. It should be this. Yeah. Because this is the deadlift position. This is a squat. See this? This is a squat. So that's not what we're doing. The one-arm deadlift. So the one-arm deadlift is going to look like this. So the kettlebell is going to be in one line with your feet. Now we're going to play the wall game, stick the hip back. So the wall game, stick the hip back. I'm going to grab the kettlebell right here. Now I do the floor hip extension and I squeeze. So I extend the hip in the front, squeeze the glutes in the back. Now I play wall game again. Wall game. Notice I'm high. Floor hip extension. Wall game. Floor hip extension. Put down using the wall game. Don't do this. Arm swing, which we're going to do, the 2-arm swing. I just taught 2 of 3. So we're going to do the 2-arm swing next. It's the same point. You have to have that same position. So we're actually practicing for the swing. The position for the swing and the deadlift are the same. 1-arm deadlift. So get in a straight line. Move right along. 2-arm swing is next. So let's do a quick review of the 2-arm swing. Now, the deadlift started with one line. Swing is going to start from the triangle position. So, I'm going to play the wall game. Wall game, butt back. I'm going to grab the kettlebell. Now I'm going to do what we call the hike. I'm going to hike it into this position right here. When it gets here, now I'm going to snap my hips and it's going to go faster. So it's going to go up. So I have to really squeeze my glutes. Go up like that, okay? So the deadlift is slow, the swing is fast. Our back is straight, pull, snap, snap. All right. So for this, we'll just do one. Let's just do one. So we pull, snap, back, down. Pull, snap, back, down. Okay? Watch what I'm going to do. Because a lot of you, you're like way too low. You're like down here, and then you have to like, ugh. So watch. When I do the hike, I pull it up. I pull up. It goes up to here. Not here. Right? So here. Boom. So you see, when it comes back, I'm high. I'm not low. This is way too low. All I need is right here. I want the kettlebell right here, so that I can push. Here, push. So the kettlebell should be here. The kettlebell should not be here. This is too low. We want the knees to straighten, and we want the hips to snap. So the knees are going to straighten like this. It's like I'm jumping. You don't jump like this. You jump like this. Everything has to straighten. So I want to straighten the knees and straighten the hips at the same time, just like this. And the hips. Boom. Okay. But that's fine. If that's where you're at, some of you just need to do the deadlift. But eventually you have to try to squeeze them faster. And when you squeeze them faster, that leads to the swing. Right? So it's a bit of a learning curve. You start with the deadlift to squeeze the glutes, but then you got to go into the swing to squeeze the glutes faster and to squeeze them more. It's called the bent arm swing. No, not hers. No, I put a lot of videos out yesterday. I put a video out on the Kettle Bell Quest YouTube page. It's called the bent arm swing. So when should you use the bent arm swing and when should you use straight? So for the weight that we're doing today, we really want to be doing the straight arm swing because it's really not very heavy. So what we're doing now is we're keeping it pretty straight, right? But later as you get heavier, then this is okay, right? But the weight at this level, we're trying to test your core stability a little bit. So to test the core stability more, we need the arms to be straighter, not so bent. Right? So what you'll find is that as you do it, oh, it wants to pull me out. So what do? You pull back, right? So it wants to pull me out. No, it's not going out. I'm pulling it back. But if you do this right here, if you do too short, you won't get that pulling effect, so you won't be able to stabilize against it. When you kick the hips up like this is more glute strength, and that's fine, especially when we're doing the heavier ones, but today we're doing pretty light. So for the lightweight swings, you want to test your core stability by keeping the arms more straight. Right along, we're going to do the get up, sit up. So the get up, sit up will be the first movement that I teach in this series that's really designed for your core, specifically for the core. So when I do overhead press, I have to have shoulder stability. I don't want to be like pressing like this. I want to have a stable shoulder that's underneath or that's over my body and I'm pushing and it's going straight up. So the way that we first start teaching that is we do the get up, sit up. We're going to lay down on the floor. So on the floor, you're going to push up. Now you have to stabilize this. Like this, right? So watch my shoulder. Watch this. This is shoulder stabilization. I'm stabilizing because I'm squeezing, right? So I'm squeezing my lat, my latissimus dorsi down here. I'm squeezing this, and I'm stabilizing my shoulder. That's part of the get up, sit up. Yes. I feel like this is pretty simple, but a lot of people have trouble with it because they don't do the shoulder stabilization part. I want to be really clear that when you lay down, you're going to have the kettlebell over your face, okay? Now, if you don't do this and it's doing this, that's going to be a little dangerous, okay? I'm already ugly. I don't need to be uglier by dropping a kettlebell on my face. And maybe you don't either, okay? So, you really want to do this. When you do this, then we can do the sit-up part. But this never stops. You've got to do this the whole time. So you get into it, you come up and then fang song, and then it gets like this. No. Squeeze, then do the sit-up. Come down. Do the sit-up, but you never relax this. Never relax this, okay? 10 kg, 12 kg. So this is where you start doing that. But it's this kind of thing, yeah, that you have to start getting. This is going to start developing that lat strength, which is the connection to the arm, right? And it's easier to do because you're laying on the floor. So if you drop it from here, that's really far and it's really dangerous. But if you drop it onto the floor, you're a lot closer to the floor because you're laying on it. Right? Hope that's obvious. So I'm going to have the kettlebell on my side. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to put my hand through this. Right? Some of you are going to need to switch to a lighter kettlebell. I want you to switch to a light one that you can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my body. See this? I'm going to grab it with my right hand. And I'm going to use 2 hands. And I'm going to roll. See, I'll pull this to my shoulder, and I roll back. Okay? So don't do this. We're not doing this. This is going to mess up your rotator cuff. Right? Roll, 2 hands. Pull, come up. Now from here, 2 hands. Push. It's on the outside. It's our right hand, okay? Now from here, shoulder stability. Push this out. Squeeze. Now from here, straighten this and do 1. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to say switch. We come down. Here. Grab here. One. Y'all punch it, right? The young one. Yeah? Flat. So this is the same position that we were using for the deadlift. What I'm doing now is I'm going to keep you in this position for a period of time, and I'm going to expect you to move side to side now. So you're keeping your back flat and you're moving side to side. Don't pop out. And this is what happens. A lot of people pop out. Don't do that. Push this back, keep it flat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the kettlebell, and it's going to be at an angle. It's going to be in front of my right foot. And I'm going to grab it by the opposite horn like this. Now with my back flat, I'm going to pick the kettlebell up, and I'm going to shift. Then I'm going to come around, and I'm going to shift. Come around like this. So it makes this little figure 8. Down the knee.
所以这是在外侧换手，从外侧到
This one's a little bit more difficult. People have a little bit more trouble.
这个会比较难，因为呼应的重心会比较偏外侧。
Inside's usually a little bit easier. Start with inside.
所以我们先从内侧换手开始。
So remember, keep the back flat.
所以记住一定要把背
后面，不要看前面。So from here. So let's just do that. Okay. So everybody down. Fix back pain is endurance and spinal extension. You have to extend the spine, and you have to have a lot of endurance to keep it there. This is what makes your lower back more resilient and stronger. But if you can't hold this position for time, endurance, then it means you're more susceptible to back pain. So if you want to fix back pain, you have to be able to hold this position. Right? And I mean hold it. Like, you need to hold for usually about 5 minutes. You need to build up to 5 minutes. Up with the thumbs forward, and I'm going to grab right here in the horns, like this. Then I'm going to bring the kettlebell behind my head. So it's like this. Now, if you can, you do this. This is best. Now from here, I stick my hips back, and I come up. Back, up. Same thing as the wall game. Wall game, same position. Back and up. Back and up. Now from here, this is going to be a little hard for some of you. Grab, grab, bring around. Put down. The good morning. Okay?
接下来我们要做的动作叫 Good Morning。那想看到这个动作的过程，应该也知道为什么它会叫做 Good Morning。所以一开始我们握住壶铃的方式跟其他的动作不太一样，我们是拇指朝前往下去这样握住它，然后把它拿起来，然后再把它绕到你的后方去。那所以说。 最好状态当然是这样握，但是如果你握不住的话，你也可以换做这个样子握。
等一下. You can do it from here. Okay, you can do it from here. This is better, but some of you are going to have trouble controlling this. If this feels dangerous to you, if you think you're going to drop it, you just hold right here. If you're stronger, you go down.
Stronger, so go down.
If you're stronger, you can go down to this position. Because then I need you to switch back to grabbing it. I don't want you to drop it.
所以如果你肌力够的话，你才把它垂下来。不然的话，因为我们等一下我们还要再把它往前拉，所以Dave 是建议你们是抓两边，在一开始做这个动作的时候是抓两边，把它垂下来抓两边。对，是建议你们这个样子抓。
But this is a little wushu, okay?
但是这个动作会当然比较不舒服。
This is better.
然后所以说这样子的时候，然后一样就是 work in 臀部往后推，好像是在跟人家倒着一样，这个样子去操作这个动作。然后做完了之后呢，然后一样握着，然后把它往前旋，然后放在地上，结束这个动作。
Okay, so the deadlift, the swing, around the knee pass, this loads this position from the bottom up. The good morning is unusual. It's funguli. It loads the position from the top down. So it's unusual, but it's still a hip hinge. We're still hinging at the hips, right? And now we're doing top down, not bottom up. So it's a little bit more advanced.
所以我们在做
I'm going to go a little bit slow. This part, not necessarily this part. So you want to go a little bit slow. Stabilize. You have to stabilize. So you have to squeeze these muscles, and then you come up. Okay. So when you go back, you stick the hips back. You go a little bit slow, and then you come up. Okay. So that's it for the teaching part. Let's do the workout. All right. So when everybody to get ready, we're going to do the one arm deadlift. One arm deadlift. Remember.